Hello friends, welcome to The Point. In today's session, let's discuss about India Yearbook. So we know how important is India Yearbook for UPSC aspirants. So in order to make our preparation easier, we'll discuss about India Yearbook. In this particular session, we'll be discussing about the land and the people of India. So let's get started. So the land and the people. So in this chapter, we'll be particularly discussing about the physical features of India, the geological structure, the river system, along with the climate or the seasons in India, the flora, the types of flowers we find in India, as well as the faunal, that is the animal resources, and also the demographic background of our country. So let's get started. So physical features first. So the mainland, it comprises of 4 regions. They are the Great Mountain Zone, plains of the Ganga and the Indus, the desert region, and the southern peninsula. So first, this mountain wall, it extends over a distance of about 2,400 km with a varying depth of 240 to 320 km. So in the east, between India and Myanmar and India and Bangladesh, hill ranges are much lower. So Garo Hills, Khasi Hills, Jaintia and Naga Hills. So these are running almost in east-west. So they join the chain to Mizo and Rakhine Hills running north to south. So the plains of the Ganga and the Indus. So discussing about the plains of Ganga and the Indus, they are about 2,400 kilometers long and about 240 to 320 kilometer broad, and they are formed by the basins of 3 distinct rivers. They are Indus, Ganga and the Brahmaputra rivers. The desert region, it can be divided into 2 parts. One is the Great Desert and other is the Little Desert. The Great Desert, it extends from the edge of Rann of Kutch, so behind the Luni River. So the whole of the Rajasthan Sindh frontier, it runs through this. The Little Desert, it extends from the Luni between Jaisalmer and Jodhpur up to the northwest. Next comes the southern peninsula. The peninsular plateau is marked off from the plains of Ganga and the Indus by a mass of mountain and hill ranges varying from 460 to 1,220 meters in height. Prominent among these are Aravali, Vindhya, Satpura, Maikala and Ajanta. The southern point of the plateau is formed by Nilgiri Hills, where the eastern and the western Ghats meets. Next is geological structure. So discussing about the geological structure, the geological regions, they broadly follow the physical features and they can be grouped into 3 regions. They are the Himalayas and their associated group of mountains, the Indo-Gangetic Plain and the Peninsular Shield, the Himalayan mountain belt to the north and the Naga Lushai mountain in the east are the regions of mountain building movement. So the Indo-Ganga plains are a great alluvial tract. So this great alluvial tract, they separate the Himalayas in the north from the peninsulas in the south. The peninsula, it is a region of relative stability and occasional seismic disturbances. Next comes river system. The river system of India, it can be divided into 4 groups. They are Himalayan rivers, Deccan rivers, coastal rivers, and rivers of the inland drainage basin. So discussing about Himalayan rivers, they are formed by melting snow and glaciers, and therefore they continuously flow throughout the year. So the main Himalayan river systems are those of the Indus and the Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna system. So the Deccan rivers, on the other hand, they are rain fed and therefore they fluctuate in volume. So many of these Deccan rivers are not perennial. So in the Deccan region, most of the major river system flowing generally in east fall into Bay of Bengal. The major east flowing rivers in the Deccan rivers are Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri and Mahanadi. So Narmada and Tapti. These two are major west flowing rivers in Deccan region. The Godavari in the South Peninsula, it has the second largest river basin covering 10% of the area of India. The coastal streams, next coming to coastal rivers, especially on the west coast, they are short in length and have limited catchment areas. So most of these coastal rivers in the western coast, they are non-perennial in nature. The streams of inland drainage basin of western Rajasthan, few rivers in Rajasthan, they do not drain into the sea. So these are Luni, Machu, Rupen, Saraswati, Bhanas, Gagar and few others. They do not flow into a sea. So the entire country, it has been divided into 20 river basins or groups of rivers. Groups of river basins which comprises 12 major basins and 8 composite river basins. So the 12 major river basins of India are Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Mahanadi, Pennar, Brahmini, Baitarani, Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada and Tapti. So each of these basins has a drainage area exceeding 20,000 square kilometer. Climate or seasons in India. So the climate of India, it can be broadly described as tropical monsoon type. So the Indian Meteorological Department, that is, in short it is called as IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, it designates 4 official seasons in India. One is the winter season, which is from December to early April. And the other is summer, or which is also called as pre-monsoon season, lasting from April to June. That is April to July in northwestern India. The third comes monsoon, or which is also called as rainy season. It lasts from June to September. And the season is dominated by the humid southwest summer monsoon. And finally, the fourth one is post-monsoon season. And it lasts from October to December in northwestern India. October and November, they are usually cloudless. So apart from this, India's climate is affected by 2 seasonal winds also. The northeast monsoon and the southwest monsoon. The northeast monsoon, it is commonly known as winter monsoon. It blows from land to sea. And the southwest monsoon, it brings most of the rainfall during the year in the country. Flora. So India is rich in flora. from about 70% geographical area surveyed so far, in that over 46,000 species of plants have been described by Botanical Survey of India, which is in Kolkata. So the vascular flora, which forms the conspicuous vegetation cover, it comprises 15,000 species. So India can be divided into 8 distinct floral regions, namely the Western Himalayas, the Eastern Himalayas, Assam, the Indus Plain, the Ganga Plain, the Deccan, the Malabar and the Andamans. Faunal resources. So India is also very rich in terms of biological diversity. So due to its unique biogeographical location, diversified climate conditions and enormous ecodiversity and geodiversity. So India's immense biological diversity, it encompasses ecosystem, populations, spaces and their genetic makeup. So according to the World Biogeographic Classification, India represents 2 of the major realms and 3 biomes. So the 2 major realms are Palearctic and Indo-Malayan, and 3 biomes are tropical humid forest, tropical dry or deciduous forest and warm deserts or semi-deserts. So let's discuss about the demographic background of our country based on 2011 census. So which was the 15th census of its kind since 1872. First, coming to population census, the population of India as on March 1st, 2011, it stood at 1210.9 million. Currently, it is estimated at nearly 138 crores. So, India accounts for a niche of 2.4% of world surface area of 135.79 million square kilometer. So yet it supports and sustains a whopping percentage, that is 17.7% of the world population. Next, coming to population density, the population density of India in 2011, it was 382 per square kilometer. Decadal growth is 17.72%. The density of the population increased in all states and union territories between 1991 and 2011. Among major sites, Bihar is the most thickly populated state with 1,106 persons per square kilometer, which is followed by West Bengal with 1,028 per square kilometer, and it is followed by Kerala by 860 60% per square kilometer. Next, talking about the sex ratio. Sex ratio, it is defined as the number of females per 1,000 males, is an important social indicator to measure the extent of prevailing equality between males and females in the society, so at a given time. So the sex ratio in the country has always remained unfavorable to females. So as per the census 2011, the sex ratio in India is 943 per 1,000 males, so which was 993 in the previous census, that was in 2001. So the child sex ratio, it has declined to 919 per 1,000 male. So coming to literacy rate. The literacy rate in the country is 73% and 80.9% for males and 64.6% for females. Kerala retained its position by being on the top with a 94% literacy rate, which is closely followed by Lakshadweep with 91.9% and Bihar with a literacy rate of 61.8%, which ranks last in the country. So it is said that Bihar has recorded the lowest literacy rate both in case of males as well as females. So this is about the land and the people of India.